Hello everybody, this is Infamous OG 1973, and today I'm going to be starting my first video for Magic 2015. I am going to go through the tutorials at the beginning. Each video will be each tutorial, and I'm going to get started with the first one. If it doesn't have the voice on it, I'll have to read it, so excuse my reading. Hope you enjoy. You're a Planeswalker. Planeswalkers draw mana from lands they've visited and use that energy to summon creatures to defeat their rivals. In the Magic game, you'll use your creatures to attack your opponents or to block an attack.
Welcome to Magic. You and your opponents take the role of Planeswalkers, powerful sorcerers who can magically travel between planes of existence. To win, you must defeat your opponent by bringing his life total down from 20 to 0. To do this, you'll use a variety of tools, represented in the game as a deck of shuffled cards. All players have their own decks to play with. We call this your library. At the beginning of the game, each player draws 7 cards. If you don't like your opening hand, you have the option of redrawing, called a mulligan. To take a closer look at your cards, zoom in. As you can see, Magic cards have many symbols and words. We'll explain what they mean as the game continues. To begin playing Magic, you must complete a series of quests.
Each quest will be related to one of the following colors of Magic.
For the first quest, you're playing a green deck. Green's specialty is large, powerful creatures. Your opponent is Crimson Mage. To cast spells or summon creatures, you're gonna need some resources. In Magic, the main resource, mana, comes from lands. Every turn you may play a land from your hand. Once you have enough lands on the battlefield, you'll have the mana you need to cast spells, including summoning creatures. Play a land now. Since you don't have enough mana to cast any spells yet, we'll pass the turn to Crimson Mage. Crimson Mage will also play lands to build the resources he needs to cast spells. Now, he will cast a spell. Crimson Mage has summoned a creature. Attacking with creatures, like Crazed Goblin, is the major way players defeat their opponents. On every creature card, the bottom corner displays its power and toughness.
Take a closer look at Crazed Goblin. Double tap to zoom in. And I suggest that you always do this.
Power is the amount of damage a creature deals in combat. Toughness is the amount of damage needed to destroy this creature.
Now see, back whenever I first started, I was younger and I didn't play very much, so when I started back up here recently, my nephew and me too, we both got that confused. We did it backwards. I didn't know that toughness was actually on the right side and power was on the left side. I thought it was the other way, and I just wanted to point that out, because if you thought that way, then that probably explains why you have such a hard time with Magic, because that's one of the issues that I had that was messing me up. So remember that. I just wanted to point it out.
Every spell has a mana cost. To summon Crazed Goblin, it costs Crimson Mage a single red mana. It's represented by this symbol. He had to use up or tap his land to pay to cast this spell. Tapped cards are turned sideways. Mana costs can be more complex than Crazed Goblins. Summoning this creature will cost 4 mana, and 2 of the mana must be green. When a player gains control of a creature, it can't attack or do anything that requires tapping. This is called summoning sickness. These creatures will have a dizzy look to them, but we can expect the Crazed Goblin to attack on Crimson Mage's next turn. Now it's our turn. Let's summon Colonian Tusker. To cast this spell, play a second land, and then choose the creature that costs 2 green mana.
Always pay attention to the highlight.
This creature's power and toughness are 3/3. More than a match for that Crazed Goblin. Let's pass the turn.
Alright, so I almost interrupted that, but always pay attention to the cards that are highlighted. Those are the cards that you're able to use, and it helps you out. It kind of makes it simple.
Mage will play a land and then attack us with the Crazed Goblin. The Crazed Goblin has to attack because its rules say it must.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pull that one up and show it to you. You can actually see the card that is your opponent has by zooming it in like you do with your own. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show you that this card does require that it attacks each turn. Crazed Goblin attacks each turn if able.
When a creature attacks, it taps and moves forward. Now you have a chance to respond with creatures you want to block with. You happen to have a creature on the battlefield that will block very well. If Crimson Mage's attacking creatures aren't blocked, you will take damage. Your Colonian Tusker can keep you safe. Creatures with summoning sickness can block. Block the Crazed Goblin!
Tap on your Colonial Tusker to declare the blocker, and then tap on Crazed Goblin to block this creature. Tap the block button to finalize the action. When you tap your card, it'll go to a black highlight. That means that it's ready. And then you go and you tap your opponent's card, and it does that. Now if you notice on the left hand side, there's a shield up on top. That is the block button when it's time to block, and when it's time to attack, it'll turn into an attack button with the swords representing the attack button. Just tap on that.
During the combat damage step, each creature deals damage equal to their power. This time, these creatures will deal damage to each other at the same time. Crazed Goblin will die, and the Colonian Tusker will survive. At the end of every turn, each creature heals. Any damage dealt to them is removed. You don't have to keep track of damage from turn to turn.
Now see, I got that mixed up when I was playing. I thought that each creature kept the damage that it had. Come to find out that it does heal after each turn. Some people play too to where it has to go all the way around the table and then back to you before its powers are healed, but usually that's how it's played. After the turn it heals. So you have to be able to damage it within that player's turn in order for you to get damage or to take advantage of that.
Play another land.
I didn't. Always, like I said, always pay attention to the highlights.
Now it's our chance to attack Crimson Mage.
The reason why I say pay attention to the highlights is because if you want to counter spells and enchantments and things like that, when the card's being laid down, the counters will highlight in your deck and you can use them. So you always need to pay attention to those cards when they're highlighted, because you might miss a chance to take out a card. Colonial Tusker no longer has summoning sickness. It can attack. Tap on Colonial Tusker and then tap the attack button to attack with it. And like I said, the attack button is the top button on the left hand side that was used for defense. Now it'll be for offense. So I tap my card, and then over on the left hand side where the swords are on the top, I tap that button and it attacks.
Because he doesn't have any creatures to block with, Crimson Mage will take 3 points of damage.